One chilly moonlit night on the first eve of February, I came across a poor old man as I walked through the local park near my little suburban town. This park always invigorated my senses with the sights and sounds of nature, a welcome respite from the smoggy, polluted mess of the grey city. The old man, heavily bearded and thin, wearing a thick, brown tattered jacket, jeans and shoes, was lying on one of the park's benches, gazing at the sky. He seemed in love with the stars that were up in the sky as he raised his arms, imagining he could hug the mighty gas giants that we were taught to believe during our school days. Beautiful, aren't they? The old man asked in a gentle manner as he continued to gaze at the sky. That is true. I don't have the luxury of seeing the stars so often whenever I'm in the city, I replied as I stopped by his bench. Upon nearing the bench, the old man turned to me and asked to stay a while. That is a shame. Everyone should stop once in a while to take in the beauty of the night sky. It is a treasure that almost everyone takes for granted these days. Indeed, city life makes it hard to gaze at the stars with all the pollution that blocks it. People also tend to think of more important things in their life like paying the rent, trying to get a promotion, familial problems. The old man began to chuckle before I got to finish my thoughts as he started to set up. From his jacket, he took out a small, worn-out, pocket-sized notebook. Its cover wrapped with already tattered leather, and the paper yellowing and reeking of alcohol. Opening the notebook, the old man just smiles as memories of years gone by begin to come flooding back to him. Life has a funny way of teaching everyone what is most important. You live, you breathe, you grow, you experience. You love, you lose, you hurt, you move on, etc. Even when life seems to push you to the ground, you get back up and continue onwards. The old man places the book on the bench and asks me to sit with him, to just gaze at the sky. He places the notebook between us. I don't normally sit and talk with strangers, and at night, in a park no less. But I didn't think he meant any harm. Do you always come to this park, sir? Why is it that you visit the park at night? I asked him, hoping to know more about this individual. I do. This park has always been like a friend to me, welcoming me like family. The old man chuckled as he explained it to me. It is not that I visit the park at night, as I visit it every day. It's just that nights like this is when the stars are brightest in the sky. You really love looking at the stars, don't you? Do they remind you of anything? Does everyone not see stars and be reminded of their childhoods? The old man simply smiles as he motions to look at the stars. To me, the stars remind me of a time long gone when my grandfather took me to the countryside and we would have camping trips. He would always look at the bright lights in the sky. I asked him the same thing you told me.
That they reminded you of something?
Exactly. Only, in his words, he said that the stars in the sky represent all of the good and bad things that have happened or will happen in your life. He told me to love all of those memories, no matter what, no matter how good or bad they are, because those are what molds you into the person you will become.
He lifts the notebook off the bench and hands it to me.
Open it and tell me what you see.
I slowly opened the notebook. I noticed first how the paper felt fragile, so I took care in flipping the pages. I glanced at the first page where all I see are names and descriptions. All I see here are names and a short line of detail. Dashin, Robert, Jewel, Samantha, Spence, Risa. Are they family?
You could say that, but no. Those are the names of the stars that I personally gave to them that signifies events throughout my life.
That's a very pleasant way of keeping cherished memories, I replied, as I began to reminisce of some memories of my own. Those are childhood days, spending time with my family and friends in my hometown. The old man slowly stands up and hands me his notebook.
I would like you to have my most cherished possession. I have been holding on to this for a long time, and it is time it went to someone new.
I reached out my hand and took the worn, ragged notebook and turned to him. Do you not need this notebook anymore? It would be such a shame to just give this to a complete stranger such as myself and not to a family or a friend. The old man simply laughs as he cleans up the mess on his side of the bench.
It was time that I passed the notebook to someone I know who would cherish their life and memories. I could not pass it to anyone in my family because they are all grown up now and missed the chance to give it to my son.
He leans on a nearby light post and looks at the view of the city and the beautiful lights of all the buildings below that one could easily see from our vantage point.
As my grandfather once gave me the very same notebook to put my beloved memories in, so too will I give it to you in turn for you to learn from it and to hopefully one day pass it to your grandchildren. I would like you to teach them what you have learned that they cannot get from simply going to school.
And just like that, he was gone. The old man walked deeper into the park and seemingly disappeared. Confused as to what just happened, I tried looking for him. still clutching the notebook. As I walked over the hill, I saw one of the roaming patrol guards and caught his attention. "Sir, have you by any chance seen an elderly man with a jacket pass this way? He left his notebook with me." Looking perplexed, the guard did not quite know what I was talking about and told me that no one came through his way, as this was the only path towards the Monument Hill. He then glanced at the notebook I was carrying, and within that instance, he finally understood what I meant. "I need you to come with me for a bit, sir. It's just up this hill," said the guardsman as he motioned for me to climb the hill. As I walked up the hill, my mind started to race with thoughts on what just transpired. Upon reaching the top, I saw the old man. However, he looked entirely different. He was made of marble. The guardsman pointed at the plaque beneath the statue's feet. "The Stargazer. He who comes in times of need and eases their aching hearts with his wisdom. He lived life to the fullest and gave us the spark we now enjoy for all generations. We now bestow the statue of him in commemoration of his memory." I exited the park, still holding on to the Stargazer's notebook, and began to read more of its contents. Most of the pages have already been written on. I noticed that some of them were written by other people. I came to the conclusion that they must have been written by all the previous owners of the notebook, just as the old man said. There were other blank pages that I could still write on, and promised to put my own memories in it, to keep this adopted tradition of mine. I never knew who the old man was, apart from being a guardian of the park. But he must have given this notebook to me to remind me that we need to look at the simple things in life and learn to be more content with them, despite how our life turns out. Regardless, I shall hold on to the special relic from the old man, and maybe, just maybe, pass it on to another young one when the time comes.